Hey everyone, this is Karen Waksman, founder of Retail MBA. Today we're going to be talking about selling to Sam's Club. So if you have a great consumer product that you think should be in their stores or on their website, this little training will give you some things to think about in regards to selling to Sam's Club. With that said, let's get started on today's training. So let's talk about Sam's Club. Sam's Club is a membership warehouse club where essentially they're very similar to Costco in that they are always looking for new products to put in their stores. It's a membership style, so you have to pay a membership to be able to enter their stores, but you get bulk deals and major discounts, and people love it because you can get stuff for really great pricing, right? Because they're charging you to enter for deep discounts. So let's talk about how you could sell to them. Well, before we do that, they have 600 stores they're responsible for. If you get a deal with Sam's Club and the product sells well, because they usually test products out first in some of their stores, they just want to make sure your product will sell if they buy from you. So maybe they'll put it in their top stores or flagship stores. And then from there, they will, if they like your product, they will continue working with you. And when that happens, that's a multi-million-dollar deal a year. I mean, it's a very promising, exciting experience. So that's why I do these things, to get you excited and fired up and get you to think about that. So anyways, 600 stores are responsible for. Each store is 136,000 square feet currently. What that means to you is that there are stores that are like small, really small. If they are small, they don't have a lot of space for product. Obviously, warehouse style, they have huge, massive space, which means they have the ability to test products out. They have the ability to buy in bulk, and they have the ability to work with all sorts of people beyond just, big established brands. They really do look for interesting stuff to put in their stores, something to think about. Okay, so let's talk about some ways to become a vendor for them, which would hopefully support you. Number one thing to think about is that they are owned by Walmart. So Walmart and Sam's Club are different companies, but they're owned by the same corporation. The reason that matters to you is because if you try to sell to Sam's Club and they reject you, don't worry about it. You could conceivably try to go to Walmart and see if Walmart picks up your product, which is actually not so hard to do. I'll explain more at the end why. But essentially, Sam's Club could be a retailer you sell to, and if they say no, you can go to Walmart. If Walmart says yes, what you can do is actually set up an account with them as a vendor, because they'll have you fill out tons of forms if they're interested in working with you, and then they'll give you a purchase order. Once they set you up in the system, you are a vendor. Every vendor gets a vendor number because they need to process each vendor through in an orderly fashion. So a vendor number really is just a way for them to track you. Once you get your vendor number from, say, Walmart, you can go back to Sam's Club and say, I'm already in your system. I've already filled out the forms. How does that work? Usually when they're corporately owned by the same company, they share a lot of the same software systems. And a lot of times, somebody at Sam's Club could finally work with you without having to do a lot of the work of setting you up as a vendor. And a lot of times with retail, they essentially get very inundated with so many products that sometimes they might like your product, but they don't feel like setting you up in the system. It's a lot of work for the buyer. And so if you make it easy for them and you're already a vendor in their company as a general, consensus, because they're all sharing the same software systems, that Sam's Club buyer could test out your product pretty quickly, and that could be an opportunity for you to get in. Bottom line is, Walmart, Sam's Club, different companies share a lot of the same software systems, and ultimately that means that you can conceivably try to go to Walmart, get a vendor number, come back to Sam's Club. And by the way, you could do it the other way around as well. So you could go to Walmart, they say no, try Sam's Club, go back. And it's just a selling point really to the buyer because you've already done a lot of their paperwork. So that's something to think about. The other thing is that with these warehouse solutions, they buy in bulk, and you're going to need to put a lot of times your product on pallets. So you need to find out your pricing for pallets. That's really important. Also, your packaging needs to not fall apart. So you need to have special packaging that's very thick plastic. There's more to say about that, but the essence is that you need to really think if this is a special experience. You're actually going to have to possibly create new packaging specifically for a warehouse solution, which can be pricey. But again, people will do it if they have the money to be able to do things like that. But again, the packaging you need for a warehouse solution is very different because, it's in a pallet, it's going to break. They can't afford stuff like that. Also, because it's a membership solution, people are paying for a discount. So they're going to hit you pretty hard on a better deal for your price. So even though they're buying in bulk, you still have to make sure that you can afford to work with them. And that's something to think about. Also, you have to know your shipping and all the deliverabilities, and they're very specific about making sure that their vendors are very, very good, because they'll actually grade you to make sure that you're not making mistakes. If you make too many mistakes, shipping wrong, packaging breaking, all sorts of problems, you're out pretty quick. They're very, very efficient. They need to have good, solid products in their stores. There's so much more to say about how to approach, pitch, and sell to Sam's Club, but I just wanted to give you a heads up as to some things to think about. We actually teach people how to do all of this in our do-it-yourself program called Retail MBA. You can go to retailmba.com to learn more. We also have do-it-yourself and done-for-you options, all of which will lead you to getting into big box retail stores and more. Definitely take a look at that if you don't know how to do any of this stuff. Otherwise, please take a look at the additional trainings we create. We have so much free content on our website. We have free webinars and so forth. All the things. Would love to support you. And thank you so much for your time. And I hope this helped. Karen Waksman, Retail MBA. We appreciate you.